So today I am very happy to introduce you to someone whom I adore a lot, and this person is insane in traveling. And I am crazy for traveling since people know that I keep traveling, traveling, traveling. But this person is not a traveler, not a tourist, but she's pro in her remote work. In 2022 itself, she has made this as a achievable target where she has traveled 23 different locations, and this is insane. I don't know 23 different locations पे travel कैसे कर सकते हैं या कैसे कैसे क्या फील हुआ होगा यार. तो ये फील समझने के लिए लेट्स टॉक टू Aditi. Here we are. Aditi Mittal, welcome to our podcast and welcome to this. Thank you for coming in this Delhi की सर्दी वाला माहौल में to talk to us and talk to our janta there. Uh, I am sure if you go to her profile, you'll go crazy. I went crazy. Uh, इसने एक चीज़ बता दी है, followers are nothing if you have heart to give in your own way. I have really felt for this profile because I love seeing you travel, seeing you exploring, and through you, I could feel that I am traveling. Your the vibe of those videos, the vibe of you traveling is so amazing, and I'm sure you are working for a lot of more things which I want to know from you. Me giving a formal introduction to my janta is like I am a news reporter or something, but I don't want to be a news reporter here. So yes, tell me Aditi Mittal, what is Aditi now? What is Aditi doing, and how come she's doing such a beautiful things which every human wants to do it?
Firstly, thank you, Chinu, for such a fantastic introduction. I think you make my profile and me look way better. Actually, that was never the intent, like Instagram followers. I think for me, and I'll answer your question, but really, journey to starting with sharing a little bit of my world was because I went through all of these beautiful places and I thought I want to share it. Sometimes when you see something so beautiful that's overwhelming, you want to share it, right? Whether it's with a partner, whether it's with the world. And truly, the inner voice was, ki, how can I share it with people? This is my lens, and how can I share my lens with people? So that is really how I started, making videos. I used to think I'm terrible photographer, and I think like my sister, everyone would vouch for it that I'm horrible at taking photos. But it's just that when something looks so pretty, you want to do full justice to it. Now, how can I capture it? I don't have anything fancy. I have like an old phone. I use that. I capture these videos. But I'll answer your question like, what is like it all about? What is Aditi? I think it's just for me. There's this inner voice, and I like to listen to it. I feel like there's so much noise around us to be something, to do something, to get it all right. But at the end of the day, if you can take a minute out to see कि अंदर से क्या आवाज़ है और क्या उसको सुन सकते हो and what is it saying to you, for me that is what's the most important thing, and that's what this year has been about for me.
So yes, अंदर की आवाज़ें बहुत ज़्यादा सुनना ज़रूरी है, and I always say to my people that do it from heart, whatever you're doing. It is, don't be bothered about the society because society any which ways will judge you. I know that in 2020 when the people were towards lockdown, and I understood that you traveled more after 2020 and in that era. So how did you do that?
I think it was just so. Firstly, fortunately, unfortunately, I got COVID in October 2020. I think people were still getting, तो थोड़ा सा पहले आ गया था और फिर था कि चलो अब तो इम्यूनिटी बिल्ड हो गई है. हमारी एजुकेशन भी कोविड की केम विद टाइम, राइट? तब आई न्यू दैट आई कांट गेट री इन्फेक्टेड फॉर 6 months.
So अभी एक बार हो गया तो हो गया.
I was like, अब क्या करते हैं? Everything is quiet. Let me just go out and travel. And already घर पे, March, April, May, it was a very long stretch to be staying at home. So I started, and I was working at that point. I've been working for last 2-3 years with companies that enable other companies to build remote teams. So I was like, okay, I'm a remote worker. Let me utilize it. Let me try to see if I can work while I travel. It was the first stint that I did. I did it in November, and only because I already had COVID. So I thought 6 महीना करके देखते हैं कैसा फील होता है कि मज़ा आ रहा है कि नहीं. So I listened to that voice. I went. So my it's a set way for me. I'd utilize 2 weekends and 5 working days. I'm not a tourist, I'm a traveler. So what I do is I like to explore a city on feet, on foot, feet, however you want to say it. But I want to not go to touristy places, just go somewhere and experience it, like breathe the city in. So, act like a local when you go somewhere, go to places, work out of cafe. कोई हेस्ट नहीं है कि बहुत सारी चीज़ें देखनी है, बहुत कुछ कवर करना है, पर जो कर रहे हो उसे ठीक से करना है. सो इफ़ आई एम वर्किंग, आई वर्क रिलीजियसली, आई डोंट जस्ट लाइक वर्क फॉर 2 hours, अब चिल किया. सो वर्क शाम को आई वुड गो फॉर अ हाइक और डू समथिंग लाइक योगा, डू समथिंग दैट्स मीनिंगफुल टू मी. And the 2 weekends I have, I'll explore something that requires the whole day. So typically, like a 9-day thing. So 5 working days and then 4 additional weekend days. How I can see a city as well as I can work.
So you started traveling after October 2020.
More so. You can say that, but I've largely lived outside of Delhi as well. I used to travel, but I never thought of travel like I was a tourist. I wasn't a traveler. So touristy चीज़ें की हैं, मज़ा भी बहुत आता था, but I think post 2020 and not November 2020, it's actually December 29 after I did a 200-hour teacher training yoga course that I really started enjoying my own company. So it is actually not about what's going on here, it's what's going on here. So I started enjoying my company and I wanted to go with myself to places and see how it feels. So I wanted to take myself somewhere. It's like,
So when you say about enjoying your company, I want, my next question would be on this only, that do you travel solo or with your friends?
few times I did with friends because confident भी build करना था अपना. And फिर ना क्या करने लगी मैं, if I'm traveling with friends or family, I'll take a few days out to be on my own. फिर that's how I started doing, because एकदम से नहीं होता है. lot of people ask me how do you solo travel, हम तो नहीं कर सकते. तो you have to test it out. nobody saying आप 1 महीना जाके कर लो या आप विपासना करो, पहले आप देखो आपको कैसा लगता है अपने साथ. So I tested it for a day, 2 days. 2 days turned into like 1 week. 1 week turned into weeks, and I started liking my own company. Like I can be anywhere with my laptop and be completely present in the moment. Have you done solo travels yourself?
I am full of fear with solo travel. I don't know, somehow solo travels, I feel that solo travels are not for me. I went to Dubai, that was alone, and I enjoyed that phase. It was 7 days trip. I really enjoyed that phase. Uh, but and I was trying to come out of that phase that I can travel solo, I can travel solo. But the end, I don't know, something haunts you, something haunts. Maybe I am more of a dependable person in travel. I like company.
पर ऐसा कुछ कम आउट नहीं होता, कोई सही गलत नहीं होता. लाइक आई कुड हैव गॉन ऑन सोलो ट्रिप्स एंड समटाइम्स द सनसेट इज सो ब्यूटिफुल बट यूर लाइक यार अकेले क्यों एंजॉय कर रहे हो. आई थिंक फॉर मी ऑल्सो ना, जब मैंने सोलो स्टार्ट किया, I think to me it was a journey of self-acceptance, because we are our biggest critics, right? इतनी सारी चीज़ें आप करोगे while you're on your own, like culture नहीं पता होगा, रास्ते नहीं पता होंगे, कहाँ जाना ही नहीं पता. So you're actually very very dependent on your environment on the internet. लोगों से पूछोगे, कभी कभी ask the stupidest question and you'll be like यार क्या कर रहे हो. So I think it's a very interesting journey on self-acceptance and being easy on yourself, because you'll make so many mistakes.
With this, I want to ask your friends, family, how supportive they are, the people who are with you, what they think about this part of life. Because I know, being a woman, it is said that it is being difficult in the society, which I never believe that, because women are the power and they have to be stronger by hook or crook. And they are stronger. It does not have to be, they are stronger.
I think it's a very profound question firstly. ऐसा superficial लगता है, but when you ask a woman this, इतने सारे thought processes दिमाग में आते हैं. To answer the first part of your question, supportive, I think उन्हें समझ नहीं आया. एक तो मुझे ही नहीं समझ आया मैं ये क्यों कर रही हूँ, तो किसी और को कैसे समझ आया. It's not like बचपन से कहना मेरे को क्रिकेटर बनना है, सब पूरा whole universe is conspiring. Suddenly in 2020 wake up and you're like I want to travel. Like COVID चल रहा है, people are like ये क्या करना चाह रही है. Like obviously if your parents have not seen a certain side of you, it's important to take them along with you. So that's why I traveled a little bit with them, a little with friends, so that everyone's comfortable. And then slowly, अच्छा 2 दिन extra रह जाती हूँ, 1 दिन extra रह जाती हूँ, तो उनको भी confidence आने लगा कि ठीक है, she can manage it on her own. And more than anything else, it was just passion. Like, you know, this when you're passionate about something, like you're so passionate about, you know, the whole social sector, and वो दिखता है. तो उसी तरह आप किसी भी चीज़ के बारे में passionate होते हैं ना, आपके environment को वो दिखता है. And शुरू में समझ नहीं आता, शुरू में झगड़े भी होते हैं कि वो आपको नहीं समझ सकते, आप उन्हें नहीं समझ सकते, बट इवेंचुअली एवरीवन कम्स अराउंड. इवेंचुअली, because you're also living and breathing it, right? It's not a khayal, it's actually my life, and I'm showing it by action. So when you action cures all fear is how I really look at life as well. So eventually everyone became more supportive, and yes, it's not always hunky dory when you're a solo woman traveler. When I've done trips abroad, I would be home before 9 p.m. मेरे को internally लगता है sunset हो गया है, dinner खा लिया है, अब घर आना है. Because you don't know how you're going to be getting home. First question, right? Are you dependent on a cab? Are you going to be walking? You're not even aware of the environment, क्या safe है, क्या नहीं है, and safety is not worth compromising with. So घर टाइम से आना ज़रूरी है. थोड़ा पता होना चाहिए कि आप कहाँ जा रहे हो और कैसे वापस आओगे. सो सुबह निकल के हमेशा ये क्लैरिटी होती थी कि रात पे मैं इतने बजे घर आऊँगी और कैसे आऊँगी, दैट इज़ समथिंग आई एम अवेयर ऑफ. सो there are also, you know, fortunately, touchwood, nothing strange has ever happened, but I remember हमारा environment स्पेशली इन इंडिया इतना fearful है ना. लाइक मैं हाइक्स पे जाती थी, 1-1.5 घंटे की हाइक्स होती थी. जानवर से डर नहीं लगता, चीता आ जाएगा, लेपर्ड आ जाएगा, बट एक गाड़ी दिख जाती थी ना, तब इतना डर लगता था, क्योंकि मेरे माइंड में कॉन्स्टेंटली चलता था, ओके दिस इज़ वन वे, लाइक यू नो दिस वन पाथ, दिस कार विल गो, व्हाट इफ इट डिसाइड्स टू स्टॉप, व्हाट इफ इट डिसाइड्स टू कम बैक, वेयर विल आई गो, यू नो. सो आई ऑफन डन दैट कि कुछ गाड़ी दिख गई तो वापस चले गए, क्योंकि अजीब सा वियर्ड सा डर लगता है वो कुछ. एंड पहाड़ी पीपल आर द स्वीटेस्ट, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. तो ऐसा नहीं कि वो थ्रेटनिंग है, वो तो अपना ही कर रहे हैं ना, बट आपका बीइंग फ्रॉम दिल्ली आपको बस डर ही लगता है फॉर सम रीज़न.
You said it right that it is being from Delhi, but honestly, in our country, especially the safety of women is the biggest concern, and it should be on the top best priority to be talking about, to be speaking about, to be taken care about. Because sorry to say this, but इंडिया में ठरकियों की कमी नहीं है यार. And you need to be very safe, you need to be very strong within you.
At the end of the day, parents are most concerned. I don't think parents think, oh, ये कुछ करने जा रही है. It's like, is she safe? सबसे पहले आप जब travel करते हो as a woman, your friends and your family are concerned about your safety. So, and as especially younger 20s, I started traveling later on in life. Would I be most, you know, naive? Yes, I would be. So I think mentally ये ज़रूर पता करना चाहिए कि don't drink excessively. Always know the source of where your drink is coming from. किसके साथ hang out कर रहे हो. मतलब you should be very very aware of your environment. थोड़ा vigilance शायद लड़कों को इतना ना करना पड़े obviously, but women को थोड़ा सा, आपके कैब ड्राइवर ठीक, फॉर्चून सभी ठीक होते हैं, मतलब यू कांट बी स्कैर्ड ऑफ एवरीथिंग, बट थोड़ा सा पता करना चाहिए नंबर का. यू नो, हैव यू सीन देयर कार नंबर, हैव यू शेयर्ड इट विद समवन, किसी को आपकी लोकेशन का पता है. कभी कभी अगर मुझे किसी सिचुएशन में डर लगा है, मैंने लिटरली अपनी लोकेशन बाली से एक बार अपनी फ्रेंड को भेजी थी. आई वाज लाइक, आई डोंट नो, आई जस्ट वांट यू टू हैव इट. I have no idea why I sent it, but I said I want you to have it. So sometimes intuitively, if you feel something doesn't feel right, you should listen. There's no stronger voice than your intuition, and we were talking about this a little bit.
So red flags are very much mandatory in your life. To listen to them is very important. And yes, you need to be very secured and protective and very decent. गए हो, चलो गोवा गए हो, वहाँ पे भंड हो गए हो, पता नहीं तुम्हें किधर हो. That is not traveling. That is something the misuse of traveling part. If you want to go to such places, go to such amazing places. If you're a drinker, drink. If you're a smoker, smoke. If you want to hang around with people, hang around. But you should be knowing your own worth. You should be knowing your own self, what you are doing. I took my mom to Goa for the first time. She wanted to see Goa, and I took her to Goa. We went to bars, we went to clubs, we went to casino with mom, and that is absolutely okay if your parents are accepting it, and if she's enjoying. And the next time, whenever now more than us, she's craving to go to Goa. Like, so it has happened. So it will happen with you people.
It happens, you know, you're actually right. When I started traveling, और मेरे को सिर्फ travel करना था, right? I would tell my whole family, everyone's invited. अब आपको देख लो आप नहीं आ सकते हो तो that is not on me. Like मैं कुछ छुप के नहीं कर रही. जितने लोग को चलना है चलो, I'll book it. But I need to go. You are concerned about my safety, come with me. You know, it's actually invite for all. तो कभी कभी कोई आ जाता था, कभी कोई नहीं आता था. इवेंचुअली देर लाइक इसको तो जाना है एंड इनवाइट भी है बट हम नहीं जा सकते. तो
I've seen your travel. We have spoken about your travel. We are understanding how much you travel. And मैंने 2-3 बार सुन लिया कि international trips किए. Now tell me who funds you? Who is that masiya?
no, the real answer is have a boyfriend in every city. Who no, I'm joking. No, I'm giving all the wrong ideas. You have to work hard for it. I work a lot. I work 10 hours at least every day. I work with a Japanese company. It's a privately funded startup that I work with. And I take care of strategy and partnerships, more around BD sides. And I've been working for over 10 years now. So I fund my own travels. I make prudent, frugal choices. I don't do luxury travel. I also don't do backpacking travel. Like I'm 30 plus. I travel in a very different kind of way. I need to work. I need some peace around me. और plus मुझे nature बहुत पसंद है. So when I travel, I make decisions that are prudent and can pump in that money. For example, we were talking about it. Like I don't rent a place. I live with my family. So a lot of costing comes down because if you were to rent an apartment somewhere else, you'll be paying a lot more money. So that money is diverted here. I don't shop a lot, so I don't splurge money on shopping. That money also gets diverted here. So it's like how you decide आप अपने कॉर्पस के साथ क्या करोगे, राइट? फॉर ट्रैवल इज़ एन इन्वेस्टमेंट. अगर आप एक पूल अपनी SIPs में डाल रहे हो, उसी तरह देयर इज़ अ सर्टेन मनी यू पार्क फॉर गोइंग आउट एट नाइट और शॉपिंग और पार्टिंग. मेरी शॉपिंग या पार्टिंग खर्चे नहीं हैं. I divert that money into my stays or the experiences that I do. So I fund my own travel and very, very proudly I don't take money from my parents for my travel.
So that is something lovely. And since there are many people who know me that I always talk about investment part. So I have this thing in my mind which I tell students. महीने भर में आपके घर में 300 रुपये का कचरा तो आता होगा. कम से कम रद्दी वद्दी जमा करके आप 300 रुपये तो महीने भर में आप जमा कर सकते हो रद्दी वाले से. अगर उसको 300 रुपये हर महीने आप उसको पिगी बैंक में डाल रहे हो, सो आफ्टर 1 ईयर यू विल गेट 3,600 रुपीज़ विच इज़ इक्विवेलेंट टू हाफ ग्राम गोल्ड. So your kachra is gold. That I always tell it to people.
And we were also talk about, like, I think the basic concept is with what you have, what do you want to do? Like you were talk about how you used to have 7 days, right, in a week. And 5 दिन आप काम करते थे. 1 या 2 दिन used to, you know, teach at a school. So it's the same thing. Well, those 2 days you could pursue a hobby, binge watch Netflix, but it's what you do with the time that you have, no? And you have to work hard. Work hard is so undervalued now. There's romanticism around work smart, gigs कर लो, कुछ creative कर लो, but you have to work hard ना.
This brings my mantra, this brings my formula, that is struggle is equal to success. See, why this formula came in. A plus B the whole square, Pythagoras theorems, MC square, ये सब बहुत formulas ना बचपन में पढ़े. किसी का यूज़ आज तक नहीं हो रहा. मुझे तो नहीं यूज़ हो रहा. So my formula was struggle is equal to success. The more you struggle, the more you feel success. And I feel struggle is a shadow of a success. So what's your idea on this? What's your thought on this? Anything? You may agree or you may not agree also.
Definitely agree. Why I probably paused for a second is कि मतलब थोड़ा सा privileged standpoint से बोलूँगी मैं शायद, क्योंकि इतने struggles नहीं थे. Like, you know, रोटी कपड़ा मकान was always taken care of. So शायद जिनकी life में basics are not in place, they struggle a little bit more. So I feel like you know, self actualization का जो pyramid होता है उस पे 2 needs तो वैसे भी parents, you know, so much gratitude for all of that. It was always taken care of, तो you didn't have to worry about basics. फिर आप सोचते हो कि चलो ठीक है, आगे क्या सोच सकते हैं. तो वो स्ट्रगल, अगर उसको स्ट्रगल कैटेगोरिकली बोला जा सकता है, तो yes, absolutely. I think when I started doing my first job, for example, like I was one of the first women to work in my family, in a service environment, for example. So that was a little apprehensive. शायद ये लोगों के लिए struggle ना हो, but मेरे लिए एक तरीके से थी, right? कि उस उससे निकल के आना, बोलना ये मैं करना चाहती हूँ. ये भी नहीं पता था क्यों करना चाहती हूँ, बस ये पता था कि इंडिपेंडेंट होना चाहिए इंसान को. तो उसको करना, इंजॉय करना, फ्रॉम जस्ट हैविंग अ जॉब टू एक्चुअली हैविंग ambitions. There's a difference, having a career, actively thinking about what is it that I want to do 10 years, 15 years from now. One is making money, one is making decent money, and climbing that ladder. So I think वो struggle रहा है, but I genuinely feel God's been kind, honestly. Struggle is real for sure, and frankly इतनी नहीं देखी, क्योंकि बेसिक्स हमेशा.
तो मेरे को ये चीज़ पता है कि स्ट्रगल ना सबके लिए अलग अलग होती है. किसी के लिए खाना पीना, घर लेना एक स्ट्रगल हो जाती है. किसी के लिए जीना एक स्ट्रगल हो जाती है. किसी के लिए अपने पैशन को पूरा करना एक स्ट्रगल हो जाती है. सो एवरीवन हैज़ देयर ओन स्ट्रगल. सो यू हैड योर ओन स्ट्रगल. And especially when we were chatting, I understand that you do a lot of research work before traveling, checking Airbnbs, talking to the owners, checking the nearby residents. That is also a bit of struggle, which you put into your efforts, and then that trip is successful. So if you are not putting that struggle there, your trip won't be that successful or that happening or happy for you.
You're so right. एक ट्रिप अगर ठीक हो जाए, so many different parts actually come into existence, right? We would talk about रात में घंटों तक बैठ के, मतलब पीपल आर चिलिंग, मैं 1-1 बजे तक एयरबीएनबी पे आइडेंटिफाई कर रही हूँ, या 10 लोगों को रीच आउट कर रही हूँ, क्या ये सेफ़ है, क्या ये लोकेशन ठीक है, एक जगह से गूगल मैप कर रहे हो, डिफरेंट चीज़ें, कॉस्टिंग एस्टिमेट निकाल रहे हो. And pura week you're actually just doing this to make a trip successful, because you're on your own. At the end of the day, I'm responsible for my safety. Na, I have to ensure I get it right. So एक वो चीज़ satisfying हो, successful तो क्या, satisfying हो तो काफ़ी gratifying होता है. And उसके पीछे बहुत सारा actual में there's a lot of background work that happens. What's been your biggest struggle?
Ups and downs in life. My relationships have been a big struggles in terms of life. So I don't know. I have never been into a good relationships wala part. So that is one part of a struggle which have made me learnt a lot. A lot of breakups, lot of अभी तो divorcee भी हूँ. So that's coming to from the society now. When you want to get married again, so you have to go with the tag of divorcee.
Is that a struggle?
Not for me. Let it for people. I don't even care. It's divorcee to divorcee. I got an experience better than you. So if you are a single, I am a divorcee. I have got an experience to live that marital life. So I'll be living more better life now.
अपनी ज़िंदगी को अपने तरीके से जीना इज़ अ स्ट्रगल इन इटसेल्फ. लाइक सबको साथ लेके चलना कोशिश होती है, राइट? लाइक for example, like if I live at home, I hope that my family will understand my need to do this. I hope my siblings will understand, my friends will understand, employer will understand. I hope, कि आपके actions के consequences से सब ठीक रहे. But ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं होता कि when you are on your journey, when you follow your path, काफ़ी बार ऐसा होता है कि आपको लगता है आप temporarily शायद disappoint कर रहे हो किसी को, but आई थिंक अपने आप को डिसअपॉइंट करना ज़्यादा हर्टफुल होगा. तो टू लिसन एंड टू फॉलो दैट पाथ, बिकॉज इवेंचुअली वर्ल्ड कम्स अराउंड इट. आई फील लाइक मोमेंटरली people may not understand, they may pull you down, or they might be more cynical, but if you listen, go on that path for long enough, people come around, at least ऐसा मुझे लगता है. तो वो भी बहुत एक स्ट्रगल होती है अपने आप की सुनना और करना.
Definitely, yaar. You listening to your voice is a big struggle, and going on your own path, which is not accepted by the society. People ask me कि क्या scope है, किसमें ज़्यादा job मिलेगी, पैसे मिलेगी. I like इंसान बन जाओ, you'll get everything in your life. Any thought, anything about insaniyat you want to say before we end this conversation?
I think you're very inspiring because you do so much, and I think at the end of the day, जितने भी पैसे कमा लो, जितने भी personal travel कर लो, there's always that one question कि आपने औरों के लिए क्या किया. तो आप अपने वे में करते रहते हो चीज़ें, but now I actively think, like in my 30s, I actively think about what is the life that hasn't touched others, you know. तो मुझे अब तो काफ़ी बार लगता है कि जितना चाहिए उससे ज़्यादा है, honestly, to be happy, right? Basic से काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. How can you share more? How can you do more? Like, to me, travel is selfish. It's like I didn't start traveling because I can inspire others to do it. That was never the thought, right? It was like, I need to do it. I like it. But with what you have, how can you, like, you are enabling me to probably, even if I'm able to influence one person to do something, to travel because their heart says so, is fulfilling. But that active thought process कि आप किस तरह से दूसरों की लाइफ्स को टच कर सकते हो, वो ज़रूरी है. बिकॉज I feel like everything around you, even our conversations, follow your path, YOLO, everything's great. But इस process में, while you're being so selfish, is there a scope to be selfless? I think is a very important thing, and which I feel like you are doing today. Because जितना आप अपने लिए जीते हो, आप दूसरों के लिए भी जीते हो. तो वो बैलेंस कितना ज़रूरी है कि जब खुद का पैशन कर रहे हो, आप सब अपना पैशन करने लगे तो who's thinking about the less privileged? So I think उस point of view से life still feels like a little like how do you fill in those blanks? But I think what you're doing is beautiful, and if people can live even a little bit for others, the world will be much better and kinder.
The one thing I loved about you, you twice or thrice said that in your 30s, in your 30s. And I was so overwhelmed by this thought because whenever it is that era has been gone where you don't ask women's age, because it is all about how young are you, it is not how old are you. So I flauntly say that I'm 33, I'm getting older, I'm getting wiser with age, I'm getting hotter when I have turned divorcee. So I keep saying it to people that way. And when you are saying that about your 30s, 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 and this is an inspiring people to
30s.
and it is inspiring to the girls who are like, oh my god, I'm 25, I cannot share my age. Yeah, your age is your own self. Why should you hide it? Yeah, and you're getting experience. That is most important in life. So with this, we should stop talking because I am not taking much of your time now. I know you have a busy schedule. मैं दिल्ली में वेला हूँ, so मेरे को कोई problem नहीं है. I can keep chatting and chatting. So thank you so much.
कैसा लगता है ये तो बताओ.
Delhi is my heart. So heart gives you pain and heart gives you love both. So I have good memories, some okay memories also in Delhi. And let's hope this year ends with a lot of positivity, and 2023 is the year of humanity again.
Yeah.
So I want to say it again and again. Every year should be year of humanity. It should be year of love and warmth. So thank you so much, Aditi, to
And
be
thank you
coming
for doing
there.
everything that you do.
It's just a human work I'm doing, just doing a bit as a human. That's it, nothing more than that. So thank you everyone who is watching us, and sorry if you have bored. It is not my fault. You are on my channel to watch me, so it is. I didn't choose it. आपने choose किया था बोर होना. So thank you so much. Keep spreading love. Keep giving love. Thank you so much to the people who are behind the camera. Thank you, Gaurav, for flying down from Bombay to Delhi just to do this. And thank you everyone who is watching us. Thank you, Aditi, once again for coming over. Love to everyone. प्यार सबको बांटो, जितना बांट सकते हो बांटो. सेफ रहो. इंसान बनो, सबसे ज़्यादा स्कोप उसी में है. टेक केयर. बाय.